This is the Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Cyberverse Universe Shadow Striker. This thing looks interesting. I picked up this figure from my local Toys R Us store out here in Manila for a whopping $35. Let's get this guy out, or this lady out of packaging. And here is Legacy Evolution Shadow Striker from the Cyberverse universe out of the box. And the figure looks not too bad. I'm actually pretty surprised that they went with Shadow Striker as their first Legacy or Legacy Evolution figure from the Cyberverse universe. I thought they would go for somebody like Windblade, since we haven't had a Windblade figure in a while, but I guess they felt that the Cyberverse line didn't do this character justice with the releases from the Cyberverse line. So I guess they went ahead and did this. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 13 centimeters tall, or about 5 1/8 inches tall. For comparisons, here she is with other Cyberverse characters on the show, not necessarily from the toy line. We have the Titans Return, the Takaratomi Legends Windblade, and we have the buzzworthy Bumblebee Worlds Collide Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, if you're not too familiar with this character, this is a character from the show called Transformers Cyberverse, way back in 2018. And it lasted for about 4 seasons. And she was this female Decepticon that Megatron hired to, capture Optimus Prime, and then Bumblebee saves Optimus Prime, and then she has it out for Bumblebee. She hates Bumblebee because Bumblebee was actually responsible for her previous demise. She got blown up, and then Shockwave just repaired her and combined the pieces of her guards, and she was actually kind of like a Frankenstein Decepticon, and very asymmetric, and she has a different arm, different leg, and all that when we first see her on the episode called Shadow Striker. But this figure is very symmetrical, much like this cartoon render. So I guess this was before she got blown up by Bumblebee. Also, if you've been watching this channel for a while now, you'll remember that, back in 2019, I think, 2018, 2019, I did review a Shadow Striker figure. This was the Ultra Class. Or was it Ultra Class? Ultimate Class? I can't remember. But this was like a gimmick toy in the Cyberverse line, and it was like a Stealth Strike Shadow Striker. I did a video review on that figure, and it was actually pretty good. It had a good gimmick, and it's actually been sculpted very nicely. The color is very similar, albeit the chest doesn't seem to be as accurate as the one we've seen from the old toy line and in the animation. Because if you remember, she's always wide-eyed, and her chest looks more like a Vehicon's chest than this one. So I don't know what happened there. Hasbro must have had good reason why they chose this chest for her. But anyway, you can see right there in that render, she has different arms, she's got different legs, and this one, this figure in particular, I guess she's very symmetrical. So I guess this was before she got blown up by Bumblebee. Now, she does come with several pieces that are removable. This is the bumper. The shield is also the top part of the car. You can remove it as well. She does come with her weapon. This we've seen this gun. This is very, very akin to the gun we've seen on the show, except for the fact that this one has another handle. But the one on the show is like more a Nerf-like rear end, and the instructions say that she can use this as sort of like a melee weapon, but I think it's a secret lightsaber for her. You can plug in a blast effect and it's a lightsaber. But we do see her use her favorite blaster pistol, which kind of looks like this. But she did have that long rifle, which I'm surprised they didn't include in this figure. A long rifle, and some of those small energy daggers, those crystal energy daggers that she uses like a ninja weapon. They could have added that, actually, but anyway, I'm sure a third-party kit will be available soon for that. Now, in terms of articulation, the neck is on a ball joint. The arms are on swivel joints right here on the backpack, and also another swivel joint right here. So it's kind of a weird shoulder articulation. She's got a bicep swivel, hinge elbow, swivel wrists, waist swivel. The hips can go in and out, do the splits. You go forward, backward. You got thigh swivels. Hinge knees that bend more than 90 degrees, and the ankles can go up and down because of transformation, and of course the quintessential rocker tilt. Paint apps and colors for the figure, absolutely amazing. He's got a fantastic head sculpt. This one looks so much like how she did in the cartoon. Plastic quality, amazing. No complaints from me. Legacy Evolution figures, just amazing quality of plastic, except the Tritus for this particular wave. Now the figure does have some kibble right here, but you can just fold it up and you can look beyond it, kind of feel like wings. So it's not so bad. I mean, a lot of collectors are complaining about her back kibble and the way the arms been attached. It doesn't bug me as much. Now, let's show off my favorite gimmick and part of these Legacy Evolution figures, and it is the Evo Fusion gimmick. And what you need is the bumper and her blaster. And what you do, based on the picture and in the instructions, you plug in this bumper onto the barrel of the gun. You attach it onto her hand and boom! Evo Fusion gimmick accomplished and unlocked. What an amazing gimmick for this figure. And this is the reason for this is because back on Cybertron, before she became a Decepticon, she actually worked in the library of Cybertron. And this is what she used to check out the books. Checked out, like that. And then on her off days, she was actually a mason. And what she would do is when the Autobot or the Constructicons were finished with adding cement on the bricks, this particular weapon or Evo Fusion was used to smoothen out the cement or some of the adhesive material they put to build their buildings and their labs and all that, and this would be used to smooth that out. So it's a very interesting weapon, and I do love how this whole Evo Fusion gimmick has been incorporated for this figure. Checked out. So transformation, and ultimately I think this is where the figure suffers the most. It's a very straightforward engineering, but somehow along the way the execution of that engineering just didn't pan out, and it is annoying to transform, quite cumbersome and tedious. So let me show it off. First, the weapon, I found out you can plug it right there. It's not too tight. Take that weapon out, take the smaller shield out, open up this piece right here, fold out the arms this way. Back flap's gonna fold out. The backpack is going to stretch all the way up, and it feels like at the first time it feels you're gonna break the hinges because they're very tight, always tight the first time. But once you get the hang of it, do it a couple times, it should be fine. Now you want the chest to open up, fold out this way, and then there's this tiny panel right here, which it's difficult to unfold, and it doesn't slide out smoothly. You have to somehow squeeze it out and just push it out till it clicks. Again, it feels like you're gonna break it, but that shouldn't be the case. I don't know why they couldn't have fixed the clearances. Fold the feet up like this, lock in the knees, and here's the most difficult part of the transformation. You will need to raise the entire leg assembly up like this and sort of find a way to just collapse it underneath the car. To do so, you gotta open up these shoulder bits right here. And again, first time you do it, it's going to be very tight. It feels like you're going to snap the whole assembly and break it, but just keep at it. Even now, it's very tight. These thighs are going to peg onto these inner pegs right there. Don't know if you can see it. Okay, and as you peg them there, the hood of the car is somehow going to miraculously fold down, flush onto the hip, And, you know, I've tried this several times. I've tried doing this one first, then this, several combinations, and there's really no easy way to do it. So you just have to keep at it. This is like the nth time, 7th time I'm transforming this figure, and it's still difficult and annoying. Okay, there we go. Don't know if you got that, but that's the whole idea. You got to squeeze everything in, all those tabs. See, this one isn't even tabbed in properly. Okay, you got to tab these in, tab this thing in. So it's not fun at all. And then you tab these feet right here. Ugh. Man, now I know why this thing is the shelf warmer or the peg warmer of the Wave, because yeah, the doors, they're gonna slide in here. Okay, and finally, the arms, I'm gonna fold them like this, and then the shield is gonna form the top part of the car. And again, a little tricky tabbing everything in. It doesn't even, well, it's not as flush as I want it to be, but essentially that's it. That's the transformation. All that's left is really to add the bumper, the parts forming, man, the parts forming piece. Okay, there we go. And I don't think this should be flush right here, because that forms like the spoiler, but it should be flush here, and it's not. So it is annoying. And then the weapon can stay right here if you want to, but take that out first. It's a 1mm clearance from the floor, from the ground. So yeah, it's a little smooth if you do everything properly. It's a smooth roll. Nice painted rims. I love the purple that they used for this figure. It looks very, very premium. Kind of looks like a Vehicon, a modern day Vehicon, not the stylized Vehicon. So it's a hot rod, and yeah, it kind of looks like the Cyberverse Shadow Strikers alt mode, but not really. It's a little updated. So for comparisons, here she is with a few other Decepticons that turn into cars or land vehicles. You've got Runabout and Crankcase. She's a little small, but I think scale-wise, it's all right. It's all right, I think. I mean, she's got the biggest wheels among the three, so yeah, it's a hot rod that's just a little petite, a little small. Yeah. And so some final thoughts on this Legacy Evolution Shadow Striker. The figure on paper should have been great. There's a lot of things going for it. The plastic quality is absolutely premium. The colors, the paint apps, the design, the sculpt, they're all pretty amazing. But when it comes to the final assembly, the final product, somehow all those great elements kind of have a hard time clicking and falling into place. The biggest gripe I have about this figure is the transformation engineering. It's a straightforward transformation, but somehow it's like pulling a tooth to transform her back and forth from alt mode to robot mode and back. I don't know what happened. And to be quite frank about this, I honestly don't know what the point of this figure or this character is, unless it's a pre-paint for another character that they're preparing for, that she's like going to be, I don't know, Vehicon or some other character that we don't know of. Because unlike the Armada characters or the Prime Universe characters, where there are other characters in the pipeline, Hasbro hasn't announced anything from the Cyberverse line. So she's going to stick out and not fit in your shelf of Generations figures, despite looking like a Generations figure. Because Armada figures, we have what, four characters now. IDW, we've got several. We got 5, 7 figures. For Prime Universe, we have Bulkhead, we've got RC, we've got Knockout. I mean, you get what I'm saying. There is sort of a smaller universe going around in your Legacy collection, which is fine. But for this character, Unless I'm not aware of something that was announced in SDCC, there are no plans to do other characters for Cyberverse in the Legacy line. I was kind of hoping that, a better choice would have been probably Windblade instead of this character. And that begs the question, why do they do Shadow Striker, a character that was pretty cool on the show, but I don't think she's as popular as, let's say, Windblade, Bumblebee, maybe Grimlock, Optimus Prime. Maybe they're trying to do less popular characters for the collectors. I don't know. There's just not enough to really make this figure a stellar figure. Parts forming does not help. The extra kibble does not help. So you understand, it's really a mixed bag and really quite a mystery why we have this figure. At any rate, I'm gonna give the figure a 6.5 out of 10. Probably you can wait for this one to go on clearance. I don't think stocks are gonna run out. She is warming the shelves out here in Manila. Nobody's picking her up. Everyone's just after Detritus and Bombshell, of course, but and Strong Arm, but she's always left on the pegs. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Legacy Cyberverse Universe Shadow Striker. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.